I guess I will check over on X. My go live button's gone, but I didn't see the countdown. But I might just not have been paying attention. So let's go see if we're live or not. Oh, yeah, looks like we are. Well, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday to you. All eyes, obviously, on the situation over there in Iran. Sorry, threw me off a little. I was sitting there watching. I guess I just missed the countdown. Let me put a little GM for good morning in the chat. Well, yeah, market just opened. Sorry, I was doing a little trading. I had a little bit of a spike, like in the last 20 minutes, that we were down quite a bit. Had a little bit of a spike in Bitcoin and crypto. We'll take a look at that here in just a minute. But right now, the NASDAQ opened down 0.38%. The Dow Jones, for some reasons, been the futures, and it opened up a little worse. Looks like down about 0.75. Yep, 0.8. So the Dow Jones doing a little worse than the NASDAQ and the S&P, down 0.8, almost 1%. S&P looks like it's down about 0.31, about a third. Welcome, good morning, everyone watching live on YouTube or X. So, yeah, it's Monday, but it's kind of a sideways Monday. So a few new twists came out with obviously the negotiations broke down. J.D. Vance, we saw a big drop on Saturday when he announced that, like literally massive drop in about 5-minute candle went straight down. And then, but the ceasefire has held so far. And then Trump came out and announced this naval blockade. So that's what we're dealing with. But let's take a quick look at crypto, and then we'll take a quick look at all the news. Bitcoin. Bitcoin 71,083, flat for the day, up a little. Like I say, if we look at the hourly chart, you can see we kind of had that little pop right there about 15 minutes ago. So Bitcoin flat for the day. Ethereum 2,186, down 0.1 for the day. XRP $1.32.9, up positive 0.1 for the day. And Solana $82.48, up 0.6 for the day. So yeah, we're just kind of, I don't know, it just feels like, I don't know about you, but it feels like it's kind of a watch and see. This naval blockade goes in effect at the top of the hour at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So interesting approach. Instead of taking out their infrastructure and stuff, as they're just going to stop all the ships coming in and out. So they're not going to be able to charge their toll. Word on the street is the breakdown came over, the nuclear enrichment, though there is some back and forth on that. And then that they did not want to close the Straits of Hormuz. They wanted to charge the tolls. So, yeah, now the U.S. is saying, no, you pay a toll, you're going to still get turned back. So we have a full-blown naval blockade starting. And they're also working on sending some ships. They sent a couple of destroyers through there, and they're sending mine-clearing ships. Problem is, as it came out over the weekend, Iran doesn't even know where the mines are. A lot of them, they put them out there hurriedly. Some of the people could have got blown up in the process or right after. Also, there's some strong tides there, could be moving them. So they are moving mine clearing ships, but really there only has to be one or two left, and it gets to be quite a problem. So there's a new twist, right? New wrinkle with the naval blockade and whatnot. But so far the ceasefire is holding. We'll see. So let's kind of get into the news. But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. We're going to have to kind of wait and see. But strategy, I've been talking about how effective Michael Saylor's STRC which is a preferred stock, which you can buy it. You can go to Robinhood or wherever you buy it. You're not buying any Bitcoin. You're just buying that preferred stock, and it pays 11.5% yearly interest, which is phenomenal, and it pays monthly. So every month you'll just get your dividend in there. So he's been hugely successful in attracting big buyers for that. And indeed, today he came out and bought 13,927 Bitcoin for $1 billion even, an average price of 71,902. So now he's sitting on total 780,897 Bitcoin. They're gonna on this track, they're gonna easily break 1 million this year. And they paid an average of 75,577 per. So they're upside down a few $1 billion, but that could turn around quickly. So we're right there, but not stopping buying. And he buys OTC over the counter, so he doesn't affect the market. So he usually pays a little more than when we report it. He's bought like 17 out of the last 18 weeks. He skipped one 2 weeks ago. Bought last week and then came firing back with this massive buy today. So good stuff there. Not a ton of crypto news today. Mostly, I think we're just mostly on a wait and see type thing. Here it is, though. The United States to blockade ships entering or exiting Iranian ports on April 13th, 10 a.m. Thank you for attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So I think everyone's waiting to see what happens there. 1 in 3 Russian citizens plan to buy Bitcoin and crypto when it's made legal this summer. So it's just, we're just going to continue to see adoption. That's why I still think it's a great time to buy, even if today is your first time looking into Bitcoin or ever being on this show or ever buying crypto. It's a great risk reward's never been better. The Turkish foreign minister said the ceasefire could be extended to 45 days. That would be wonderful, but I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't see that happening with this blockade going in. So there's a new twist this week. We're just going to have to wait and see. And that's what the markets are telling me right now. We're going to wait and see because don't know how this will play out, really. Luxury brand Gucci to accept Bitcoin and crypto at select stores. These are more high-ticket items, but love to see it, right? The more retail people establish it, especially these name brands and these fashion brands that everyone looks up to, I think it's a positive, bullish thing. Arthur Hayes said Bitcoin will hit 500 to 750 by the end of 2026. Now, who is Arthur Hayes? Very smart guy. Came from the traditional finance world of Wall Street, and then started a perps exchange called MEXC, the biggest in the world. I think they ran into a problem because they were Americans, theoretically legal. They had to pay like a big fine, and I think he had to divest that. But still, smart guy. I listen to what he says. This may be a little crazy, but we do need to take into consideration the point that at some time, the adoption curve goes parabolic and supply shock kicks in. But little sassy, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. I don't know that it's probable. I'm calling for all-time high this year, and I think it could do more than that. Polkadot bridge got exploited. The attacker gained control of the admin keys, minted $1 billion worth $1.5 billion, and then sold it. I think it was only about $250,000. I don't think it was that. I don't think he sold that much. I think it was about $250 million. I think this is off, but I think he was able to sell about $250 million. But this is one of the latest bridge hacks in recent months that has seriously damaged trust on cross bridge. I know all the Korean exchanges where they see most stuff put it all on hold. Bridges are by nature not very secure way to go back and forth. We've had a lot of these exploits, and they're almost always on the bridges. So, according to Kalshi, Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey continue to talk with the U.S. and Iran. So there is some hope. There is some hope, even though the talks broke down over the weekend. There's talks of potential and more. It's just kind of touch and go. We're just going to have to see how this plays out, right? It's just not very just kind of we're going to wait and see, and it's interesting. New twists, this and that, but yeah, I don't know. Netanyahu says the ceasefire in Iran could end quickly. He's also supposed to start talking to Lebanon today. I have some controls, but he, yeah, I don't know if it's in his interest for him to cease. He's obviously sworn enemies, though. There is word that a lot more of there's a lot less of them, but a lot higher percentage of the Iranian bombs are hitting targets in Israel. Potentially their missile defense systems are weakening. So don't know. And they're a small place, the easy target. So who knows? Who knows? A lot of people think Netanyahu's the villain in this whole thing. Thinks he's controlling Trump. I don't think he's controlling Trump, but nonetheless, adding a wrinkle to it. Now this is interesting. I think I talked on Friday how World Liberty Fi was coming under a little scrutiny from Justin Sun, who's not that credible of a source from Tron, to be honest with you. I think he did a bunch of trickery early on, and they froze all of his accounts. Now he's threatened to sue him, demanding to know who controls those keys. And it was interesting today that World Liberty Fi just removed Trump and his entire family from the website, replaced with a note saying they're not directly involved. The team page completely wiped. Justin Sun says the World Liberty Fi was frozen in 2000. Zero transparency, which was probably true, though. He was dumping on the market. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. I'm out of it for now. He dumped it. He caused the problem in the first place. But anyway, back and forth there. But interesting thought. I'm out of my World Liberty Fi. It's down to like 7 cents. The thing they have going for him was the Trump connection and one of the top stable coins. But without the Trump, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. But I wouldn't say it's good for World Liberty Fi. Senator Bill Haggerty confirms the Clarity Act is scheduled to be presented to the Senate Banking Committee this week. Numerous sources are saying it will be debated this week. Hopefully they get this passed, something we could really use. And there's a window to pass. Now, this is crazy. First off, Trump fighting with the Pope, sending tweets back and forth, which is, the Pope has been probably a little too political. Obviously pisses off Catholic people. And, it's probably, I don't know. I don't know if you need to be picking fights with religious leaders, but he has been, this Pope is definitely weighing into politics way more than popes have in the past. But then this picture he posted, which I think is authentic, it was him and Jesus or something, man. Anyway, crazy. That's a little, the Pope thing's one thing. This is a whole other level. So yeah, kind of interesting. A lot of people, even a lot of his supporters, Riley Gaines and stuff, a lot of people coming out going WTF with this, man. The Pope thing's one thing. Like I say, the Pope wants to weigh into politics stuff, then he's probably fair game, at least to make comments about. But this is next level, kind of weird. But Trump, man, he likes to shake things, stir things up. Obviously, shout out to Rory McIlroy, back-to-back Masters championships. Only the fourth person in history ever to do it. So, yeah, good thing. Pretty exciting, too. Down to the last hole. Shanked the last thing off into the rough and was able to pull it off one by one. And the person in second place missed a putt by missed it by like a centimeter to cause a playoff before he got in. So anyway, pretty exciting. Is that Epstein in the picture? I don't know. Let's look back at it and see. A guy, Quantum 5652. Oh, that he's praying over. I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, it's just interesting, man. Just off even for Trump, that's a little crazy, right? Yeah, that just makes me laugh. Tom Lee, man, Bitcoin Tom Lee's Bitmine acquired another 71,524. God, I wrote it down, like $156 million in Ethereum. And like I said, I'm a lot more bullish, by the way. I'm a lot more bullish on what Sailor's doing, because Sailor has no real competition with Bitcoin, right? Whereas Ethereum does. But I think he'll be fine. But man, he's bold how he continues to raise this money. Man, it's pretty big time. Let me see. I may have to refresh. Looks like I've lost a little bit of a froze up a little here. I'm gonna have to refresh these pages before they'll pull up here. But yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. One of these was just that Israel and Lebanon set to talk. I don't know if I'd have real high hopes for that. I think that's all this was, talking about Israel. See if these other pages refresh or not. Sometimes I get so many windows open, I have to restart my computer, and I may have to get a new computer here. Seems to, when I open so many news windows. But well, let's jump to some of the end. We'll come backwards if those refresh. But yeah, all these don't want to refresh. Well, one of them, this one, if it does or not, poly markets are basically giving a 38% chance that this blockade, naval blockade, is going to be, sorted out by the end of the month. So sometimes that's at least one metric to look at. Gosh, all these are refreshing. Let's see if any of these refreshed. Yeah, Quantum 5652. Tom Lee buying more will ETH is closing down. So ETH is selling more, rather, the ETH Foundation. Yeah, just here's as it refreshed. It said Iranian officials studying abandoning uranium enrichment condition in the war. One of the things is I don't think there's really good communication there. Yeah, Quantum 5652. You'd think they might buy some OTC from them. Makes me wonder. I heard there's no fixed supply of ETH, which raises a lot of questions. Yeah, there is inflation in ETH. There's no question. Like I say, that's why I think Bitcoin's a better investment. But Ethereum, does have more usability, right? But yeah, it's interesting to see. Well, these pages don't want to pull up, so I'll just tell you. Last week, 1.1 billion. I'll go back to. Yeah, these don't want to seem to pull up for me, so we'll go back. Looks like even my this is pulling up. So yeah, all my pages give me problems here, but we'll just look at Bitcoin to wrap things up. We'll refresh this. So basically, the news articles I was going to show you is 1.1 billion in ETFs got bought last week. I think 800 billion of that was Bitcoin, but it was the biggest ETF inflow on crypto, Bitcoin and crypto, since January. That was good. Ripple Strategy adds Swift to its list of strategic partners. They're continuing to try and make stuff happen. Swift is a big one if they can get them to use. And a fake ledger app on Apple drained a guy of $500,000 in his Bitcoin. I always download the updates directly from Ledger's website, but it just shows how tricky it can be, how careful you have to be in your own bank. But let's look at Rave. I don't even know where Rave is, up 252%. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Just kind of mixed here. Overall, decent, Bitcoin. Like I say, Bitcoin up now 0.6% for the day. We'll just check these and call it good. But, it's like I say, not a ton of news today. I think we're just waiting and seeing. I think this Naval Blockade goes live in 5 minutes. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting week. But yeah, Bitcoin now at 71,359, up 0.5% for the day. I mean, if we look at the week, the high was 73,554. So you could say we got rejected off that 74 again, which is a lot. It's going to be hard to get through there, but it doesn't help with this war going on and the the big break, if you look over the weekend, we had that big drop. I don't know if I can see it here. Probably it was mostly Saturday. There was that massive drop. Probably see it on the weekend. Probably that drop right there. Just a harsh drop, right? But came when the talks broke down. So with this macroeconomic stuff going on, there's not a whole lot we can do. I think we're just in a wait and see kind of week, and it could be volatile. So strap in. Ethereum 2024 up 0.7 for the day. XRP $1.3370 up almost 1% for the day. Solana 83.33 up 1.7% for the day. Yeah, let's wait and see, guys. I don't know. Wish I could have more speculation other than it's just, who knows how this blockade is going to take. That keeps oil from getting to China or anybody. Will China come out and say something? Will they push harder? I don't know. This is interesting. Obviously, a blockade doesn't do any good for everyone's oil if we can't clear the straits, right? And I think they'll have to. Yeah, it's just interesting. Like I say, one or two of those bombs floating around, and no one wants to run a $1 billion ship, with oil and everything combined at $1 billion through there. Because, you get a hole in that, it could, anyway, not good. Think about it. So anyway, we're just in an interesting situation. We just have to wait and see. I'll come back. We'll check tomorrow morning, see if anything's happened. Early in the week, a lot of uncertainty. And I think the market's just telling us that we're waiting to see. So, yeah, that's where we're at, guys. We'll see what happens. We'll be back tomorrow, see what happens. Otherwise, I think it's just a wait and see. We'll see what this blockade, see how people digest that, what happens. And appreciate everyone joining me live on YouTube and here on X, man. So, not very exciting. Just wait and see. We're on hold, man. We'll see if something breaks, and I'll be back tomorrow to talk about it, man. Thanks everyone for joining me. Have a great week and touch some grass. Maybe go work out, do some stuff with the family.